One thing that you'll notice from the readers today, I can't stop teaching, I'm sorry, I see all these students, so I gotta teach something. So one thing I want you to understand is it really boils down to two things, imagery and sound, right? When these people are writing, it's not just full of abstraction, where they write something like, big red balloon, scary, sad, and that's the poem, right? Because that's malarkey, right? That's not poetry, right? True poetry is what? It's observing a fly on a windowsill. That's poetry, right? Where someone writing a short story or a novel, say, right, they're so busy typing away because you have to type so much. True poetry is just observing the world and recreating it. But when you recreate it, you make it something new. Next up, let's hear, this is someone we're sad that this is her last semester at ECC. She'll be transferring to Mizzou in the fall, but we're very happy for her. Her name is Victoria Knight. She won both first place in the fiction writing contest and first place in the poetry writing contest, and she's one of my creative writing students. Let's give it up for Victoria Knight.
Chips would be crispier, and I would understand every joke. I just knew it had to be different. I was excited to explore this new world I was being submerged in as I bounced into the living room and plopped on the couch, pushing my brother's impossibly long legs out of the way so I could nuzzle into the cushion. He glared at me, upset that I was infiltrating his weekly party with the best of everything I never had. He didn't want to share the wonders of this world with me in my 9 o'clock bedtime. I stared at the big ticking clock, sitting high on the mantle. I had been stealing glances constantly, wanting and waiting. The television was set, the nightly news winding down. I hid my aunts from my mother in case she would decide to send me to bed. 5 minutes left, I strut around the room, doing my best impressions, gapping as the church lady and transforming into a superstar like Mary Catherine Gallagher, trying to get my dad to laugh. The time was nearly there and I grew a bit serious. I flung back on the couch and it welcomed me. Wrapped up in my blanket, I listened to my family chat away, not understanding the event that was happening right before them. They had been deluded, and it was no longer magic. My eyes lulled and lids weighed down. The hands on the clock were at their spot, and my sight became blurry. I had made it, and it was time. I let my head sink in the couch as that new but familiar sound rang through the old speakers. Live from New York, I had arrived, and this was Saturday night. My second one is called People and Pie. It's like pie. Easy. No, wrong. I don't know if you've ever made a pie, but crust is not that simple. The shortening to butter ratio can get all off, and that results